Station of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to a Bill in Boca Raton. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not too much. Enjoying the warm weather in Florida just like you, except on the other coast.
Perfect, man. Perfect.
Yep.
Do you listen on the internet right now?
Yes.
Cool, man. Cool.
No, I enjoy that. That's in your Tiger TV and everything. I've been watching you for years, and you've really taken this whole programming to a level that's just phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, traders. Hey, folks. This is your guest host, Steve Rhodes, coming to you live from the TFNN Radio Network, and welcome to the Tom O'Brien Show. I'm filling in for Tom today. He is traveling and couldn't get back in time. Now, as most of you know, I'm Tom's business partner at Tiger Metals Exchange, and I want to express my sincere appreciation to all of you Tigers and listeners that Tom and I have had the privilege to serve in either buying your jewelry, your sterling silver place settings, or helping you purchase or sell gold and silver coins, bullion, or numismatic coins. I also host a radio show here at TFNN featured every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 to 1 called The Trader's Edge. Now, one of my focuses on the Trader's Edge show is the mental edge preparation of trading, believed to account for about 80% of your success formula. I'm a Gartley and butterfly pattern recognition expert, as well as a price, volume, and swing point trader. Now, both Tom O'Brien and Larry Pesavento are my mentors, and they specifically taught me to trade the stocks, ETFs, currency, and much, much more. If you've got questions about any of these patterns or anything else, please give me a call here at 877-927-6648, and I'll be happy to assist you. Folks, I absolutely love being here with you. I know how valuable your time is. I appreciate your presence here today, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Now, you can watch this show live on Tiger TV. You do this by going to the homepage of TFNN, and you'll see the button to launch Tiger TV, and you can follow along with me on any of the charts that I use. It'll show you the different pattern tools to figure out, what the traders in the markets are communicating to us. You can also send me an email at steve@tfnn.com, and I'll be happy to email you the charts that we're looking at today. And if you're driving in your car right now, you can log into the TFNN homepage at about 30 past the hour, and the first segment, the daily market recap, will be available. You'll be able to see whatever charts we're looking at, and you can catch that. You can replay, as well as you can replay the entire first hour shortly after the program is done. So all of you folks with iPads, iPhones, Droid devices, if you're not near your computer right now, when you get back to it, this evening, go ahead and log into the TFNN site, and you can see everything we're looking at. Now, folks, you have an amazing power within yourself. You see, everything great that's ever been achieved in life, whether it's making millions of dollars in a day, to breaking the 4-minute mile, to entering and exiting successful trades, come down to one thing, folks. That one thing is strategy. Mastering strategies is the secret to success, and it'll get you from where you're today to where you want to be tomorrow. So where is it that you want to be, folks, and what's the strategy that you're using to get there? And if you know where you want to be and you're not using a strategy, why aren't you motivated? Would you like to know the secret behind motivation, folks? You see, motivation occurs the moment you recognize what is possible. That's right. Motivation occurs the moment you recognize your potential. For you traders out there, remember the first moment that you made money off your first trade? It was that successful trade that helped you recognize what was possible. Your potential, folks. You see, the secret of motivation is that you can't recognize your potential until you actually experience it. You can't recognize what is possible until you actually experience it, folks. Make potential a must in your life and experience it because you have to, folks. Take action. There's nothing like it. Now, speaking of action, let's go look at today's action in the markets. Again, our call-in number is 877-927-6648. And give me a call, folks, and I'll be happy to take a look at your stock. Now, we had the Dow close up 1 to 11,953. The S&P was up almost a full point to 1271. The NASDAQ down 4 at 2639. The small caps, they closed out at 777. I think the small caps are getting ready to go to Vegas. Folks, a flat day in the market, no doubt. Now, we had the dollar index was down 30 ticks to 74.87. The gold contract was down 12 to 15.17. The silver contract was down $1.60 to 34.73. And we had light sweet crude trading down 233 to 96.96. Now, let's go right over to the S&P 500 and see where we're at. Right now, it's all about the swing point of March 16, 2011. Now, the high of that swing point, folks, is 1280.91, and the low is 1249.05. We're trading right now at that 1271.83, which is inside that March 16th swing point. Now, I suspect that what the SPX wants to do is go down and test out that low. That's that 1249 area. And now when it gets down there, and we'll come back to this, it'll likely reject it on price, reject it on volume, and bounce from there. The time frame that I'm looking at for this test to happen is likely by Wednesday, June 15th. Now, the reason I'm looking at Wednesday, June 15th is because it marks our next lunar event. And on June 15th, we have both a full moon and a total lunar eclipse. Now, these two events typically have an impact on the market. Now, I'll show that to you. That chart is what's up on my screen right now of the S&P 500. And my take on these lunar events, my take on astrology is that it provides you an opportunity to think and plan before it's time to act, because we know when these lunar events or any astro event is going to take place. Now, it's the time pattern that helps us to know the road ahead. Now, the chart that I have up on my screen right now is the S&P 500 daily, and with each full moon, with each new moon, with each lunar and solar eclipse, everything is marked there so that you can see how the market has reacted. Now, most of you are probably aware of the studies that have been done throughout the years that compare a buy and hold strategy with a buy on the new and sell on the full moon. In fact, go ahead and Google RBS sheer lunacy staring at the heavens and read their article. Their study went back to 1928. And it showed that if you had invested $1,000 on a buy and hold strategy, your investment would be worth $63,000 and change today. Now, and that was done through early of 2010, I think the first quarter 2010. But if you bought on the new moon and sold on the full moon, folks, that same $1,000 would be worth $1.5 million today, over 22 times the buy and hold strategy. Now, what we've learned from this strategy is that in a bear market, you do just the opposite. In a bear market, you buy on the full moon and you sell on the new moon. And that's exactly what this chart is showing you. Now, the chart that I've got up on my screen goes back to August 24th, 2010, and it shows that if you had used bear market tactics, you would have had a 70% win-loss percentage by using that. How would you like a 70% win-loss percentage in your trading, folks? Well, how about better than that? You see, the same chart that I have shows how I identified a pattern that took this strategy to a 95% win-loss percentage. And I'll be happy to share it with you. Just email me at steve@TFNN, and I'll send you a copy of this chart. Now, let's go take a look at the Dow chart. Give me a second here. And on the Dow chart the Dow chart shows more strength than the S&P. See, the S&P is already back into that March 16th time frame. But when we take a look at the Dow chart, you can see that the Dow chart has not made it down there. The top of that swing point, again, is 11,856. Where the Dow got down to today in trading, it got down to a low of 11,917. So the Dow is showing that it is stronger than the S&P. Now, what I suspect is going to happen here, I suspect that what the Dow is going to do is it's going to get down to the top of that swing point. So as we're coming into trading on Wednesday, that what we're going to see is we're going to see the Dow get to the top of that. Now, what we also have there on the Dow is we've got a couple of other patterns that are setting up right at the top of the swing point. Folks, if you take your Fibonacci retracement tool and you go from the low of 11,555, that's the March 16th swing point, up to the May 2nd high, and you pull that back, you'll see that the 0.786 is at 11,838. If you do an ABC down pattern, and that's, again, starting at the May 2nd time frame, going all the way down, your B point on this, folks, would be at May 25th. That's a 567-point move. Now, the C point that it made was on May 31st. The high there was 12,574. A 1-to-1 ABC is 12,006. We're below that. And if you take a look at the chart chart pattern, the formation tool that I've got on my screen, you'll see that since we got to that C point, that the Dow has come down at a steeper level than that A to B. What that tells you is that you're likely going to make a 1 to 1.272 AB equals CD pattern. Where's that 1.272 take you, folks? Takes you to 11,852, right where that 0.786 retracement is, and right to the top of that swing point. So I suspect that tomorrow or Wednesday, more likely Wednesday, we're going to get into that swing point, and that's where we're going to see a rejection in the Dow chart. Now, if we go over and we take a look at the composite, let me get this chart up here on the composite. Let's see here on the composite, folks, what we've got, we show that the composite is inside that March 16 time frame. Again, that March 16 time frame on the composite, we've got a high there of 26.69. The low is 26.03. We're trading right now at 26.39. So if you like to trade the composite, folks, what I think you want to do is you want to see this come and test the bottom of that swing point low of 26.0350. You can see that we've also closed down. I have that same A to B equals C to D, and you can see that today we closed below that 1 to 1.272 expansion. So what we've got now, that next level where, as Tom has in his book, Timing the Trade, The Art of Timing the Trade, when you get a 1 to 1.618 AB equals CD, that typically significantly increases the chance for an immediate reversal right there. So what I'm expecting to see the composite get down that 25.95 level. We're at 26.39 right now. If we go take a look at the small caps, we take a look at the small caps. Now, this is kind of interesting because what we've got here is we've got a little bit of divergence. And what I mean by that, folks, is that today, now, the swing point when you take a look at the small caps, you want to go back to March 15th, 2011. The low on that, folks, is 775.90. What the small caps did today was the small caps got down to 773.58. It rejected that, closed at 777. Again, it closed at that slot machine number that you'd like to see, and so we now have rejected it. So it has rejected it, even on volume. It's rejected it on price, and it's done it a day earlier or 2 days earlier. So it kind of makes you say to yourself, something to think about. Because now, as I said, the swing point that we're using for all the other indexes is March 16th. The actual swing point that you'd be using on the small caps is March 15th. So do you see a pattern here? It would make sense that the small cap would be tested first. So for those of you folks that are in the, I know a lot of folks play the TZA, the TNA, folks. Right now, today was a good day to possibly take your TZA off. I would still sit patient and wait for the setup, see what's going to happen by Wednesday, June 15th. We should see some fireworks. Maybe July 4th is going to come a little early around here. Folks, our call number's 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.